Imagine for a moment a secret so powerful that it shakes the balance of a family known to the public for decades. We're not talking about rumors or improvised gossip, but closely guarded truths capable of changing everyone's perception of Cristel, Yari, Jasmine, and even the central figures, Albano, Romina, and Loredana. In a world where every gesture of the Carissa's family is magnified by the spotlight, an unexpected revelation emerges. Jasmine has decided to break the silence. The same silence that for years has hidden conflicts, tensions, and nuances of jealousy between the youngest and most iconic members of the family. A gesture, a video, a statement, it's enough to shake established relationships, to challenge seemingly immutable balances. The question everyone is asking now is, how much do we really know about the internal dynamics of the Carrisi family? We're not talking about simple media disputes between Albano and Romina, nor about superficial tensions related to nights out or public events. We're talking about deep wounds, profound silences, repressed emotions, and how these affect the children, Cristel, Yari, Jasmine, and Romina Jr. It's a family intrigue that mixes love, jealousy, rivalry, and unrevealed secrets, and now everything is about to come to light. The Italian public knows the story of Albano and Romina and the love triangle involving Loredana, but what goes on behind the family's closed doors remains a mystery. It is precisely there, amid unspoken conversations and secretly observed gestures, that Jasmine found the courage to speak out. And when someone decides to break the silence in such a complex family, the consequences are never trivial. To fully understand the impact of this revelation, it's essential to describe the environment in which the members of the Carrisi family live. This isn't just a famous family, but a microcosm of emotions, decisions, and tensions accumulated over the years. Albano and Romina's story has been long, filled with passions, separations, reconciliations, and moments of public fragility. However, the true focus of today's narrative is their children, Cristel, Yari, Jasmine, and Romina Jr., each with a unique perspective on the family's past and present. Cristel, known for her determination and strong character, grew up in the spotlight, but with the responsibility of representing the continuity of family values. She has often taken a firm stance on internal dynamics. But Jasmine's recent statement deeply shakes her as it calls into question decisions and behaviors she thought she knew intimately. Yari, on the other hand, has always been the family mediator. Capable of empathizing and managing tensions, he now faces a dilemma that forces him to rethink his perception of family and fraternal bonds. His role, always a bridge between generations, is complex because Jasmine doesn't just speak to share a memory. She reveals dynamics that could upset the established balance. Jasmine herself emerges as a central figure at this moment. Having grown up in the shadow of the spotlight and the main protagonists, she brings a perspective that few have heard. Her decision to speak out is not accidental. It represents a desire to shed light on events that, until now, have generated misunderstandings and latent conflicts. Her truth refers not only to the facts, but also to the emotions they have generated. And this is what worries Cristel and Yari. Romina Jr., the youngest, silently witnesses tensions that adults often believe they can handle without affecting their children. But every revelation, every word Jasmine utters, has an enormous emotional impact on her. Not only because it affects the adults in the family, but because it challenges the perception of family unity she had until then. And then there are Albano, Romina Power, and Loredana, iconic figures capable of sparking admiration and debate for decades. Albano represents the father figure, an emotional anchor for his children. His love story with Romina Power is well known, but the connection with Loredana adds complexity, dynamics of love, jealousy, and mediation that directly affect all family members. Romina Power, meanwhile, is a symbol of resilience, but also of tensions that have never been fully resolved. Loredana, often perceived as an antagonist in media coverage of the story, adds another layer of conflict and mystery. The context in which all this unfolds is not only emotional, but also media-driven. Every gesture, every word, Every silence is amplified by the spotlight, creating additional pressure and heightening the suspense. Jasmine, breaking the silence, forces everyone to confront not only the reality of the events, but also public perception. It's a moment of high emotional tension, combining passion, rivalry, conflict, and loyalty. Finally, we anticipate the first cracks and latent tensions. It's not just about what's being said, but about what has been kept secret for years: subtle jealousies, accumulated misunderstandings, temporary alliances, misinterpreted gestures. Jasmine's revelation acts as a catalyst, bringing to light doubts, thoughts, and questions that no one had dared to ask before. And herein lies the real mystery. Who will benefit from this truth? Who will be harmed? And above all, how will it affect the relationship between Cristel and Yari, the siblings who until now had tried to maintain the family balance? With this premise, the audience is ready to get to the heart of the story, a true family intrigue made of love, passion, arguments, and secrets that are slowly revealed, where every word from Jasmine can change the perception of decades of relationships, and where every reaction from Cristel and Yari adds a level of tension and emotional involvement that grips until the last word. The fragile balance of the Carrisi family is shaken by an unexpected event. It all begins with a sudden confession from Jasmine, a statement as simple as it is devastating, which calls into question years of seemingly stable relationships. It's not just a revelation. It's an emotional earthquake that shakes Cristel and Yari, forcing them to rethink their perceptions of family, their parents, and even themselves. The catalyst comes in the form of a private video shared only among family members, in which Jasmine recounts previously undisclosed events. She speaks of gestures, conversations, and decisions that shaped the dynamic between Albano, Romina Power, and Loredana, revealing hidden aspects of the tensions that Cristel and Yari have always sensed but never fully understood. Jasmine's words are precise, charged with emotion, and shock those who hear them. What seemed clear is now ambiguous, and what was thought to be resolved, once again, creates deep fractures. Cristel's immediate reaction is disbelief. She feels betrayed not only by the content of the revelation, but also by Jasmine's decision to reveal it. Every word spoken in the video escalates tensions. Temporary alliances are called into question, old grudges resurface, and what Cristel believed to be mutual understanding with Yari now seems like a fragile balance on the verge of collapse. The confusion is total. How much of the truth is real, and what has Jasmine decided to omit? Yari, for his part, finds himself in a delicate situation. Accustomed to mediating and supporting the family in times of crisis, he now has to deal with information that calls into question not only his relationship with his siblings, but also his trust in his parents. It's a constant internal struggle between the desire to protect Cristel, the duty to listen to his sister, and the fear of uncovering more secrets. Every detail Jasmine reveals is like a tiny piece of a seemingly impossible puzzle to put together. Meanwhile, the discovery also rekindles old tensions between Loredana and Romina Power. Although the children are not yet fully involved in the conflicts between the two women, Jasmine's words highlight latent fractures, past decisions, misinterpreted gestures, and differently interpreted behaviors. Cristel and Yari are thus forced to grapple not only with their own feelings, but also with the emotional legacy of their parents. Each sentence in the video becomes a reflection of unresolved conflicts. Old grudges, jealousies, and misunderstandings resurface, demonstrating how complicated it can be to manage family relationships in a family under scrutiny. The children's internal investigation quickly becomes an almost investigative journey. Cristel begins to compare versions of events with what she has seen and experienced, while Yari seeks confirmation from siblings, family friends, and documents from the past. Each clue raises new questions, and each answer seems to open new doors to the mystery of internal dynamics. This is where the real conflict arises. It's not just about what was done, but how each action has influenced the family's perceptions and emotional ties. Complicating matters are indirect testimonies and small details observed over time, which Jasmine now pieces together. These aren't direct accusations, but rather precise observations that reveal the complexity of their relationships. Cristel and Yari thus discover nuances and decisions they had previously ignored or misinterpreted. Every fragment of the past is reinterpreted in light of this revelation, and the tension increases. Who acted out of self-protection and who out of self-interest? It is precisely this interweaving of secrets, interpretations, and hidden feelings that makes the conflict so captivating. The catalytic event, Jasmine's revelation, is not a single occurrence. It is the key that unlocks decades of complex dynamics where love, jealousy, rivalry, and loyalty are seamlessly intertwined. The controversy no longer centers solely on the content of the revelation, but on how Cristel and Yari will have to deal with it, making decisions that could forever change their relationship and the way they view their family. The audience, already fascinated by the story of the Carrisi family, thus witnesses a crucial turning point: the discovery of new details no one had ever imagined. The children's reactions are authentic, emotional, and suspenseful. Every phrase, every gesture, and every hesitation of the protagonists tells a broader story filled with profound emotions and conflicts that are never fully resolved. Ultimately, Jasmine's revelation becomes the crux of a conflict that spans generations. Tensions between parents, children's secrets, and tenuous alliances between siblings emerge in all their complexity. The audience witnesses a moment in which the past, finally revealed, forces the protagonists to confront reality directly, emotionally, and without filters, setting the stage for the emotional climax that will soon explode. The turning point comes suddenly, like a bolt from the blue. All the tension built up over the previous months reaches its climax in a face-to-face meeting between Cristel, Yari, and Jasmine, who finally address the crux of the dispute. The room fills with fixed silences, intent glances, and unspoken words that weigh more than anything else. It's the moment when family secrets can no longer remain hidden. Every hesitation, every tone of voice, every glance counts. Jasmine, with a firm yet emotional voice, pieces together the story as no one has ever heard it before. She recounts gestures never acknowledged, words spoken in private but never heard, decisions that have shaken the family's balance. Her revelations highlight the latent tension between Loredana and Romina Power, showing how their parents' decisions have profoundly affected their children. Cristel and Yari listen, and their disbelief gradually transforms into awareness. Each fragment of truth that emerges shakes their certainties, generating a mixture of shock, pain, and anger. The tipping point comes when an unexpected detail emerges, a past event never revealed that explains conflicts that have remained mysterious for years. It's a revelation capable of completely changing Cristel and Yari's perspective. What they believed to be a simple family misunderstanding now appears to be a complex web of emotions, jealousies, and alliances. Tensions reach fever pitch, and the audience clearly senses that nothing will ever be the same again. The emotional climax also focuses on individual reactions. Cristel, accustomed to facing difficult situations with fortitude, displays vulnerability and doubt. Her parents' silence, misunderstandings between siblings, secrets kept for protection or self-interest. All of this now emerges in all its intensity. Yari, for her part, must balance her anger with her desire for protection. She feels the burden of maintaining the family balance, but she also knows she can no longer ignore the truth. The audience feels the palpable emotion of the moment, the discovery of details that reveal previously unseen motivations, wounds, and jealousies. The interweaving of love and conflict, loyalty and betrayal becomes tangible, immersing the viewer in a spiral of suspense and curiosity. Jasmine becomes a catalyst for change, but she is not merely an accuser. She brings to light what has remained silent for too long, offering the possibility of understanding and resolution. The climax concludes with a moment of silence charged with meaning. All the protagonists, suspended between shock and reflection, realize that the family dynamic will never be the same. Jasmine's revelation is not just an incident, it is the trigger that opened a door to the past and the present, revealing to the audience the depth and complexity of the Carrisi's ties. After the emotional climax, the family must confront the immediate consequences of the revelation. Cristel and Yari, still in shock, begin to talk openly about their feelings and interpretations of the past. This dialogue represents the first step toward a deeper understanding of family ties. It's not about denying what happened, but about accepting the truth to build new, more honest relationships. The tensions between Loredana and Romina Power remain evident, but there are also signs of reflection. Both understand that some fractures can only be healed through dialogue and transparency. Jasmine's words have served as a mirror through which parents can see the impact they have on their children, opening the possibility of reconciliation, or at least a more conscious management of relationships. Cristel, though distressed, finds a sense of liberation in her conversation with Yari and Jasmine. She realizes that the misunderstandings accumulated over the years were not solely her fault, but the result of a series of events and secrets that have influenced her every word and action. Yari, in turn, manages to mediate between the siblings, restoring balance and offering emotional support. This moment marks the first step toward a new phase in the family, where the truth is no longer a hidden burden, but the starting point for more authentic relationships. The repercussions of Jasmine's revelations are not limited to her children. Albano is also forced to reflect on the choices he has made over the years, the role of his loves, and his relationship with Loredana. The truth brings inevitable consequences, decisions to reconsider, actions to clarify, tensions to resolve. It's a delicate process that requires time and patience, but also an opportunity to restructure established balances. The audience clearly perceives that the resolution is neither total nor immediate, but that there are concrete signs of transformation. The wounds don't disappear, but they are acknowledged. The conflicts are no longer invisible, allowing the protagonists to address them more directly. The journey toward understanding and accepting the truth is just beginning. But the Carrisi family demonstrates their ability to adapt, reflect, and grow even after years of misunderstanding. In short, the plot's resolution isn't a traditional happy ending, but rather a meaningful narrative closure. Truths emerge, relationships are redefined, and each character finds their place within the family's complexity. Jasmine's revelation thus becomes a catalyst for profound change, paving the way for a new, albeit fragile and constantly evolving familial balance. A clear and powerful message emerges from this story. The truth, however painful, is the first step toward understanding and healing family relationships. The story of the Carrisi family demonstrates that secrets accumulated over time can undermine bonds, create misunderstandings, and generate tensions that seem insurmountable. But when someone has the courage to break the silence, the possibility of change opens up. Jasmine becomes the symbol of this decision, to face the past, express what has been hidden, and listen to the other family members. Her gesture demonstrates that the truth is not just a fact to be known, but an action that requires courage, empathy, and responsibility. Cristel and Yari learn that direct and honest confrontation, however painful, is necessary to strengthen bonds. The story also raises important and universal questions. How much can silence and secrecy influence children's decisions? How does a parent's past impact their children's present and future? Where is the line between protection and emotional manipulation? These questions, although set within the context of a famous family, are relevant to anyone who has experienced conflict, misunderstanding, and invisible tensions in complex family settings. The moral is clear. Open communication, transparency, and a willingness to confront uncomfortable truths are essential tools for building lasting relationships. The story of Jasmine, Cristel, and Yari teaches us that silence may provide temporary protection, but in the long run, it becomes an obstacle to mutual understanding. Finally, the audience is invited to reflect on their own experiences. How would we react to an uncomfortable truth? Would we be able to face it with courage, empathy, and a sense of responsibility? The Carrisi family story reminds us that every decision has consequences and that emotional honesty is the true glue that holds family together. Your support is essential to us. Every like, comment, and post helps us continue creating quality, engaging, and in-depth content. If you'd like to continue contributing and supporting the channel, you can make a small donation. Each contribution allows us to develop new projects, improve the quality of our videos, and keep this community alive. The conclusion concludes with an evocative image, a family that, despite being marked by tensions and secrets, confronts reality, builds new balances, and demonstrates the complexity of love and loyalty between generations. It's an invitation to reflect, to question ourselves, and, why not, to discover the strength that can emerge when truth becomes the starting point for a new family journey.